Natalia snitch and tell. She done sit up here and told Sewell that Sonny has to have open heart surgery. I said, now why would you tell him that? Why would you trust him? He just told on you and you go sit up here and tell Sonny. I said, girl, you deserve everything coming to you. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review with lchessica for General Hospital, April 18, 2025. Okay, y'all. So first things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. Look, I said, Natalia, they just got through saying how they knew that they couldn't trust Natalia. I said, if he just told your secret or whatever, and you possibly getting fired, why would you sit up here and trust him that he gonna help with y'all's son? I said, make it make sense. But yeah, on today's episode, new episode or whatever, we're gonna start with Sonny, Carly, Donna. So Sonny and Donna had stopped by or whatever. He was dropping her off. And that's when Donna was telling Carly about Rocco's debate or whatever. And then she ends up mentioning that Sonny's not going. So after she left, that's when they got to talking about Laura. And she trying to convince him to give up the pier and stuff like that. And he trying to tell her that'll make him look weak and stuff. I was like, they be acting like they don't know the business. I mean, I said, the one that he was like, they'll send a message. And another thing, before I forget, I said Sonny done messed up. They either see we're going to sit up here and either he going to try to interfere with his surgery, or he's going to put the word out that he's having surgery so his enemies can know. Because his whole thing been that he don't want his enemies to know that he having surgery. Then he said he having it next Friday. Now he finna get ready to have it. All this time, now the folks she don't sit her tail up here and told. But yeah, that's what they was talking about. They was talking about that. She was trying to convince him to give up the pier and stuff like that. And he don't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it or whatever. So then he was saying how it makes him look weak. He was bringing up Michael and stuff like that, and he was talking about having to go across the country or whatever to a doctor. That's when he finally ends up telling her about his heart condition and the fact that he has to have surgery. And he also told about Sidwell and Natalia being married, and Carly ended up saying how she's gonna go with him to so he could have that surgery or whatever. Didn't he say he wanted his family there anyway? Jocelyn and Isaiah. She was getting her ankle checked out, and that's when she was telling how she sprained it. Well, she was telling a lie, but she was telling him how she hurt herself, and then I think they said she hurt herself again. He ends up telling her that she's gonna have to have physical therapy and she needs to stay off of it for what did he said 6 weeks, and she already over here doing stuff she ain't got no business. I thought for sure she was gonna get caught. And also, what's that the Dalton dude, the Professor Dalton? What was he going? He went to the lab and he dropped something off and he left. And I was like, so who was he meeting up with in the lab? Look, do y'all think this connected to Sidwell or something? And also, dude, once again, I asked y'all this before, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That product, that mineral, the zinc or whatever he gave these folks, do y'all think it's gonna have something in it? Because Lucy dropped some. Look, we ain't supposed to be talking about her right now. But Lucy dropped some off to him. I don't know, the way he put it down and stuff like that. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. But yeah. Then Emma, Anna, Felicia. We're going to go back to Jocelyn in a minute. Emma, Anna, Felicia. So basically they were just talking to Emma. She was about to start her community service at the hospital and everything. Then Anna started talking to Felicia about, what's the lady name? The D.A. Turner, about her going after her and stuff like that, and they was wondering why. Then she ends up revealing that it's about Jason, and she feels like she's showing favoritism and stuff like that and giving him special treatment. And Felicia was like, yeah, you do. But at the same time, once again, what we've been steady talking about, they all do the same thing. They'll sit up here and talk about the law and all this other stuff. Then they see, they want Jason to go say what is Sasha to Felicia now? I don't forget already. But they want to go save Sasha. They want to go save Robin. They want to go save somebody. But I know two things can be true at the same time. Emma and Joss, she came out, she had paint all over her, and she ends up telling Jocelyn that she got to do community service because of everything that happened with the Quartermains and stuff like that. I don't know what led to, I guess she offended Emma or something like that, and she was like, everybody don't have a billionaire dad to do something. And I was like, but you may not have a billionaire dad, but I said, her parents is what's the name? Patrick and Robin, right? I said, you got two doctors. I mean, I know it ain't the same thing or whatever, but at the same time, she trying to make it seem like, oh, she just had it to her. Well, we don't know, because she went to where she at anyway? Where did Robin then relocate to? Was it LA or somewhere else? I don't know. I forgot. It's been so long, y'all. And I just seen something about the lady, what's her name? Kimberly, that played Robin. They said she got a new gig. I don't know what it is because I didn't click on the article, but yeah. Who else we got? Lucy, Brooklyn, Maxie, Jason, Anna. So Lucy, Brooklyn, Maxie, they were just celebrating the fact that they having so many sales and stuff like that. And I was like, look, I feel like something gonna go wrong with their product. I feel like now they trying to over here scramble to get their contract void or whatever. Because after Lucy left to tell see what the news, Jason came in. He was like, Sonny wanted me to tell y'all that one of y'all employees been lying to you for months. Then ends up revealing that Natalia is Sidwell's ex. So they was like, what or whatever, and they was in shock, and they was trying to figure out. They called Anna trying to figure out what they can do. She ends up telling them to sit tight or whatever. And yeah, they were just trying to see if they could get out of the country. I said, nope. That's why he kept changing. And then he done went to Tracy or whatever. I said, he don't sit up here and snitch. I can't believe she don't sit up here. Well, I could believe it, but she don't sit up here and told. How you tell? It ain't like it's been a few days. He literally just snitched on you. Still funny though. But yeah, they started freaking out, trying to figure out how they could get out of the country. And Max was saying how she knew she shouldn't have trusted Will or whatever. Forget about, what Sasha said. And Jason was like, what did Sasha say? So she ends up telling Jason that she basically said, oh, it was just a misunderstanding. So he done went and confronted Sasha at the end of the episode, y'all, asking her why she rolled over for him. And then I think Jason's supposed to be asking her on Monday's episode, did that money come from it could have, but he's supposed to be asking her, did the money that she received come from Sidwell or whatever. I was like, yeah. I said, exactly. I said, look, don't sit up here. You can't take no Michael. Told y'all it's not gonna be a review if I don't mess up the doggone words. You couldn't take no money from your baby daddy, but you could take money from the dude that just look, her and Natalia the same at this point. You can't take no money from the father of your child or whatever, but you could take money. Then Michael got legitimate money, don't he? But you could take money from the dude that don't sit up here and grab you. These people don't be thinking for real. But yeah, let's see, who else? What else has happened? Like I said, they called Anna trying to see if she could do anything. She was like, you don't want to sit up here and find out nothing and use it against him because y'all gonna get caught in the crossfire with him. So she was like, what you want me to do? They was like, what you want me to do? And she said, sit tight, she gonna handle it. I said, at this point, you better off trying to get Sonny and them to help you. I was like, But yeah, they look like they're gonna go after Sidwell eventually. He don't sit up here. I said, what is he trying to prove? He don't sit up here and wormed his way into deception. Then he trying to get rid of Sonny. He trying to get the doggone Pierre. Then we finna get to this part right now. He want Jordan to watch Drew. So how, like, is Drew? Or is you in cahoots with Drew? Like, what's going on? Like, but yeah, Sidwell, Jordan, Lucy. So she went there. They was talking about her job offer, and he was basically saying how he wants her to speak on his behalf because apparently nobody been buying what he been trying to sell. And she was just asking him about the details, stuff like that. He brings up Drew or whatever, and she was like, we not on the best of terms right now, and I don't know if we ever will. And he basically told her to suck it up or whatever. And then let me see. She was saying how she doesn't want to watch Drew or whatever, and he was like, he just need her to check on him every now and then or whatever. And so I was like, okay, now what he got on Drew or what? They in cahoots together. Now we already seen a scene with them, and that's how the whole Pierce situation came about. So I'm like, how far back is it? Is it gonna be what people said that's not really Drew? Like, is all these people gonna be connected? Is we gonna find out next month at the nurses' ball? But to finish up with Jordan, Lucy ends up arriving. Well, before that, he told her that she ain't gonna have no personal life, and I feel like he was letting her know in a way that he knew all about. I feel like he still know. I agree with Isaiah, but we're gonna get to his part later. But yeah, Lucy showed up. She always jealous. She over here, she was talking about everything that happened with Laura. They ended up talking about the job offer, and she was like, I haven't accepted the job offer. She ends up leaving, and that's when Lucy was telling him, well, he told her he already knew about the sales. Then he I don't know which one said that Natalia, the CFO, was finna get ready to come over there with. So then he was like, he said something to let Lucy know that him and Natalia was involved. So then he just came out and told that they was married. Oh, she didn't tell you. I assumed she would. I said, liar, hands on fire. I assumed she would or whatever he said. And I was like, then Natalia just walked in there all happy and stuff. So Lucy ended up putting on notice saying that basically looked like she gonna get fired. I said, don't they be signing contracts and stuff? Like, I don't know. But yeah, she was mad and she left. So she was asking why he did that or whatever. He was like, what did he say anyway? Why did he tell? He was trying to be messy, trying to get her on up out there. She should have never threatened him. Then that's what get to the part right here. This the part right here. So she was asking him why he did that. They eventually started talking about Sonny. She brought up Sonny. She did. She brought up Sonny. That's what happened. She brought up Sonny or whatever. Him knowing that they was married. He was like, he knows. Then she was like, yeah. So then he brought up that he knew that she went to the place, the little doctor up with the doctor in LA or whatever. And she was like, you having me followed or whatever? You having me followed? And she was asking about Sonny. I mean, he was asking about Sonny and stuff like that. She was like, I can't tell you. I can't tell. She knew doggone well she was going to tell him. Then he was over here talking about something. I can help you with I can help you with your relationship with Marco or whatever. And she ends up telling that Sonny gotta have open heart surgery. I said, snitch. I said, oh, snitch and tell. I said, you snitch, you. I said, you ain't no good. We should have known you weren't no good when you sit up there. What she did anyway? I don't forget what she did. She did something she ain't had no business. I don't forget. she did something she ain't had no business. I can't remember what she did, but I know she did something. But I said with the Silver situation, I'm ready to see what he's up to and why is he targeting Sonny. Is it one of them situations where it's because, you know, the crime business. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. The fact that Sonny got the peers or whatever, and, you know, he been running all these people out of town and stuff like that. Is he just trying to get his territories? Well, obviously he up something. That's one thing we do know. He's up to something. They over here talking about some, yeah, Lord trying to show favoritism to Sonny and this and that. I said, y'all got bigger fish to fry. Soon as this man get them doggone peers, it's gonna be you know what to pay. It's gonna be you know what to pay or whatever. Y'all worry about the wrong thing. But yeah, I'm ready to see what he's up to. Do we know Sonny from an afterlife? Lord have mercy. A previous life? Like, what is it? Who is he? At first when he first came, I thought it was about the diamond situation. That's what I thought. That's what I assumed. It was about the diamond situation. But now they bringing all these people into play. They brought Natalia into play. Now his son there, and he trying to work at Diane firm. He over here trying to get Sonny up out of deception and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, like what's this about? What this about? But who else we got? Sasha and Jason, they was just at the doctor's appointment. They had the ultrasound, stuff like that. Then he ends up asking if he should send Michael a copy of the ultrasound. So apparently he actually sent the other one. And I said, make it make sense. And she was like, no, whatever. And he was like, you wanted me to a month ago. And she was like, yeah, but if you send to me, they're going to get suspicious. Exactly. You shouldn't have sent none. You shouldn't have sent none. Then she also brought up that Michael might want something to do with the baby. And she want to do this on her own and stuff like that. But you didn't do it on your own. You decided to take money from this man. From the psychopath who grabbed you and tried to blow you to pieces. Look, y'all, I accidentally wrote down Sasha and Brooklyn. I meant Sasha and Olivia. But what was they talking about anyways? Maternity leave. They were talking about maternity leave, and she was like shocked to see that she would have it or whatever. That's all they was talking about. She was saying how she's a quartermaid now. She was telling her story about Tracy finally accepting her, and she carried around this little card that she gave her, welcoming her into the family and stuff like that. What else did they talk about? I think that's it. Then we got Jordan, Isaiah. Is they the last people? Jordan Isaiah, he's still trying to get some alone time with her and stuff like that. And she was like, they had to end things. Let me see. I don't even think I wrote down. Did I write down? Because it was something that Isaiah said. It was something they was talking about that she ends up telling that she has a new job working for as the CEO for Sidwell or whatever. And he still has a problem with it. And he trying to talk some sense to her. But she don't want to listen to nobody, and she going to need saving. Y'all know I always say that. She going to need saving. I think I forgot to say that Carly Jr. over here, Jocelyn, was following the dude, Professor Dalton, if that was him. Yeah, she followed him. At first, I thought she was going to try to get into the little lab to see what he dropped off, but no. It looked like her and Emma, I don't know if they digging through the trash or what, because they showed her taking out the trash and stuff like that. So I was like, they showed that for a reason. It got to be something in the doggone bag. But yeah, Isaiah and Jordan. So they was talking and everything, and she just over here still talking about her playing. And he's like, you think that you were playing Sidwell. What makes you think that he's not the one playing you? I said, right, because usually in this situation, they do research, right? They do research. I was like, why would he hire you or be involved with you and not know what you up to, not knowing who you involved with or anything like that? I was like, yeah, I feel like he playing her. If he don't know what she up to, he gonna find her. He gonna catch her doing something she ain't got no business doing or something. But yeah, I think that's everything, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day, a great weekend, and be safe.